There are going to be a lot of options for our New York Jets sitting here with a top 2 pick, but let's talk about something that I've heard a few fans bring up. Should the Jets trade up to the number 1 overall pick? Welcome to Jets Talk. My name is Ryan. I'll be your pilot today. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Guys, I do my live call-in show Monday, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, if you want to voice your opinion on all these Jet topics, or Tuesday, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, we do our Talkin' Jets panel with me, Green Bean, and Matt O'Leary. So make sure you tune into those if you want to get your daily dose of Jets content. Well, let's talk about today's video. Let's discuss the possibility of the Jets trading up to the number 1 overall pick. Let me preface this by saying the Jags are not trading out of the number 1 overall pick. If they earn the number 1 overall pick, they will be taking Trevor Lawrence. Because ask yourself, as a Jet fan, would you be trading out of number 1, or would you be taking the quarterback? We would be taking Trevor Lawrence, first and foremost. But let's talk about the idea of the Jets trading up to number 1, because it's an interesting concept, because Jacksonville could, in theory, like Justin Fields or Zach Wilson or one of these other quarterbacks, and want to get a haul of picks in return. There's no shortage of people who have talked about 3 first-round picks, multiple second-round picks to get up to that number 1 slot to get Trevor Lawrence. So could that be enticing enough to get the Jets to flip-flop with the Jags? Now, for me, I was very much Trevor Lawrence or bust on this draft. That may change in the next few weeks and months coming up before this draft, but I was very much, I want the Jets to earn the number 1 overall pick. I do not want to have to trade up with a team like, say, the Bengals, who could have traded down at some point. But when I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, let's say there's a realistic shot that the Jets could trade up to number 1. Let's call it 2 firsts and Sam Darnold, get you up to number 1. I'm not, speculating or anything, but let's just say that happens. This is not something I want the Jets to do at all. I want Trevor Lawrence really badly, but the value in getting Trevor Lawrence is stemming from earning the number 1 overall pick. Because for me, as much as Trevor Lawrence is a generational prospect, he's one injury away from tearing an ACL, from having an Alex Smith type injury that just devastates his career. And I don't wish that on anyone, but that's the reality of this situation. Is he's just one player. So do you give up all these different draft assets and picks and whatnot to go up and get one player? And we've seen over the years it's tough. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. And for me, the value here was earning that number 1 overall pick and knowing the head coach coming in could select Trevor Lawrence. That was the huge piece of this whole puzzle. And that's why it hurts so much that we don't have him right now. If you get that number 1 overall pick, you attract a Harbaugh, a Cowher, insert your top head coach. Because right now, if the Jets are sitting at pick 2, there's a real good shot we're looked at as maybe the 3rd or 4th coaching candidate behind, like, the Jaguars, the Chargers potentially if Anthony Lynn's not around, the Falcons, the Texans. Like, there are some realistic possibilities that the Jets could just kind of be falling further and further down and not get their top option for head coach. And on top of that, when you have the head coach, and everyone can see that Trevor Lawrence is potentially the quarterback coming in at number 1, then you start attracting free agents. And for me, if the Jets were to trade up in the draft to number 1, this isn't happening until draft day. This is going to be a blockbuster trade the week before or leading up to the day of, the night of the draft. And at that point, the Jets have already gotten their head coach. They're locked into whoever that is. Free agency has already happened. So there's a realistic shot the Jets don't attract some really good free agents because we don't have that number 1 overall pick. So then we're going to need to rely on our trade assets, our draft picks this year and next year to build this team. And if the Jets give those up just to get Trevor Lawrence, we miss out on the opportunity of getting the head coach we want. We miss out on the opportunity of getting the free agents we might have wanted. So for me, I'm very much against trading up. It's more of a hypothetical situation because I don't see this actually being any sort of realistic possibility anyway. I don't know. Guys, what do you think? If the option to trade up was there, would you like the Jets to make a move up to number 1? What would it cost? What are you willing to give up? What would you be comfortable with? Are you looking at staying at number 2? Let me know everything down below in the comments. And as always, go Jets.